All right, here we go. Day 2 for learning how to make knives. Welcome back to my vlog. All right, so here I got my tools laid out. These were the two primary ones I used yesterday. My smallest angle pliers and my flat pliers. Primary hammer. I do have the ball peen in case if I need that more aggressive curve to help fuller or smooth out material. And my little workbench here where last time the anvil was more or less staying where it was, but it would always move just slightly, so I put in some bolts down to try and keep that in place. So we'll see if this works better today. Alright, got my propane gas powered up to 5 psi. Forge is lit. Let's start heating up some metal. Actually, while I'm waiting for the forge to heat up, let's review what I want to do today. I want to work on smoothing the whole thing out, taking this from the tang in to give a little bit narrower here, and then round this part out into a better point. Now, one of the things I learned yesterday was you really want to take your time and let your steel get to the proper heat temperature, because what I was experiencing was I was coming in, I would think I have a good glow on it. I'd come in, I'd set it down, try and start working on it. I would take this and I would set it down and I started working on it, and notice very quickly how much it would lose its temperature, how much it would lose its heat. Now, towards the end of my 2 hours yesterday, when I got to the point that I was in and out regularly and I had my entire steel had gotten a good chance to heat up, it took very little time in between to maintain that high temperature, allowing me to go further, faster, longer. So right now I'm kind of fighting the urge to really go at it. Like, I'm thinking I haven't moved the metal as much in the first 20 minutes today as I did yesterday. But today is more about refinement than large restructuring, reshaping. So hopefully it's not a bad sign that I'm taking this a little bit slower and be a little bit more gentle with my hammer strikes, things like that. Now, one thing that I'm having a little bit of trouble with is right here. I wanted to try and curve this back around. And I'm having a little trouble. I got a little bit thinned out here, but I'm having trouble getting this curve in without destroying this curve. So I picked a challenging shape for my first knife. Let's just say that. I didn't get as far as I was hoping I would get today. I was working at it. I developed a little bit of a tang, and I was actually hoping to have a friend come over and help me set something up, because I don't have a wheel grinder. That's what you would typically see in Forged and Fire or similar other bladesmiths that you can find on YouTube. The only thing I have is this old bench grinder, and I can swap these out with some buffer wheels, try and get mirror shine later, but right now this is what I got for grinding and cleaning up a blade. Now this thing, when it's on, vibrates quite a lot, so I needed a workspace to put it on that would hold still and not let it move around so much. Well, unfortunately, my friend I was hoping to help put this together while I was working the blade didn't actually show up. So I was left with the process of pausing, turning off the forge. My knife got completely cooled off. The forge got cold. I'm trying to heat it back up so I can get the little bit of a warp out of the tang, and then I'm hoping I can clean it up a little bit on the bench grinder and see what it looks like underneath all the build up of the forge scale and everything else. I just have to wait and see. It's a little unfortunate I wasn't able to get that far, but maybe I can put in an extra hour tonight and still get it done. just having to pause to put that whole workbench together was an unfortunate detriment to my time management skills for today. Alright, so here I am so far. I started cleaning this up. I didn't get as aggressive of a front point on this, but I got a little bit of the back curve, so it's coming along. Cleaned it up. Working with a grinder, it gets hot, so always make sure you have a bucket of water to keep it cool. Taking out some of the forge markings. I haven't gotten to the point of grinding in my bevel, but I got maybe a little bit of a warp still in it. I don't know. It's weird. But for a first time knife, I don't think it's so bad yet. Next up, we'll be trying to get a quench in there and seeing how well that comes out. Now I'm starting to get to the point with a more defined tip that too much heat on that tip can ultimately cause a weak point in the knife. When I was cleaning up, the spot that I was worried about being a cold shut or a delamination ends up coming out fairly well. So what we're going to do here is we're going to heat this up and then we're going to bury it and let it sit overnight. Now there's several things that I found that you can use for doing the heat overnight, and salt is one of them. I am going to go with the clay as my medium, and by clay I just really mean a box full of kitty litter. Now that I have pretty consistent heat on the tang of the knife, I am working at getting the tip to the same color. And now we are going to go in. It is nice, screaming hot. I'm just going to bury that in the clay cat litter and let that sit and slowly cool overnight. I'll take out the stresses that I put in it with today's work effort. And now we are done for the evening.